And welcome back to Music Free Gaming. Hope you're having a fabulous day. It is a day. What day is it? Is it Tuesday? I think it's Tuesday. I don't know these things. These are questions that are too hard for me today. So of course I'm going to be doing, no, I'm not doing Redstone yet. But we are going to be back in Minecraft. So let's go ahead and get started. Now I am back in the ancient city. For those of you who are relatively new to the channel, this is where I started this world. I mean, after my quick little one day in a starter base. Yeah, this ancient city is where I live. That is a lie over there. There's actually a wall back there, but because of rendering and stuff, it gets sort of covered up. Here, let's just fly over there real quick. There. See? Solid. Anyway, yeah, so in my, which is apparently a theme here lately of the, let's finish or work on projects that I've been sort of putting off forever. Like we did the gold farm the other day. One of the things I have been meaning to do since, you know, again, forever, was to take this central area and turn it into a storage room. So that's because I wanted this area to be my base right here at the center of the city. I mean, I've got one small problem, and that's the portal, which, you know, I want to stay there, but there's a lot of hardware underneath this, which could potentially be an issue, but we'll deal with that at a later date, okay? I said future me has many an issue, and so we'll deal with that then, okay? I don't know when then is going to be, but at some point, then will be now, and we'll fix things. Or at least that is the master plan. All right, so what I want to do here is I do want to set up the storage. Now, you can see this carpet. This is actually centered on that entrance over there. Turns out this entrance is off center. I might just tear this down. We'll see, but that's, again, we're not at that point yet. What I want to do is start to figure out where I'm actually going to put stuff. Now, the main entrances are going to be here and over there. Okay, that's not going to change. I don't think I'm going to have an entrance on, well, actually I take that back. I think I will go ahead and leave this here because this seems reasonable. And yes, I do have the gamma override on so we can see. Otherwise, it would be dark. Okay. So we're going to leave the gamma override on so we can see what's going on. But, what's up, buddy? We're going to be placing some stuff in here. Now, part of the reason this carpet is here is I was thinking that this was about where I'd want the chests. Okay, so the chests would be going up kind of like so. And we'd run that, you know, back and around and all that fun stuff. The original plan was to build a big honkin' redstone contraption, okay? The reality is, I don't want to build one. I have a design. I actually liked it fairly well. I used it 2 or 3 years ago, maybe more than that, when I was playing on Tinker World. And it was great, but I don't want to mess with that. So this will be a copper golem powered storage system. So that means it's going to be ridiculously slow, and that's fine. Now, one of the things I don't have is wool. I wonder if I have more wool. Let's head back to my storage room. My current storage room. Villager there. Let's see now. Wool. Well, if I don't have wool here, I know where I do have wool. But this gray carpet's going to be just peachy. It's now batter pattern. That's cool. Because it turns out this is where my wool farm is. So, yeah, we're going to be set for wool if and when we decide to use it. Yeah, I'm kind of liking the idea of getting rid of this. Because it only comes out here to the chorus fruit farm. There's nothing here. I mean, there's the chorus fruit farm still. There's the smelter, right? My furnace is here. But it doesn't make sense for this road to be here. So I think I may end up pulling that out. All right, but if we decide to do that, are these lined up? I actually should see if they're centered. Okay, but we'd basically be coming this way. Okay. Something along these lines. Okay. Now, let's see. So if this comes across, of course it's off center. And it's, oh, of course. And this, you know, whoever designed these ancient cities is just an idiot. You know, nothing lines up. Nothing matches. Those don't line up. These don't line up. What the heck, man? I mean, seriously. It's like they're trying to design purple or something. All right. All right. Fine. Figure out something. Okay. So if we were to come off this side, this would go this way, and we are definitely off by 1. Okay. All right. Well, that's unfortunate. Of course, we're off by 1 over there too. So this center area is going to be the same. I already said I was going to tear that down, so we can redo this doorway. So that'll be fine. The fact that this is off is just going to be annoying. Something I can do about it? Maybe. There's a definite maybe happening here. All right, so let's double check my how far I am from that wall. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. 27. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Okay. This one is centered in the room. That one, not so much. Okay, that's perfectly fine. I can work with this. I think. This can be worked with. I don't know how, but we'll figure that out. All right, so let's take a look then. I would want, let's see, this would come this way. I think whatever wall I decide to put in would go here. So chests would happen here. Okay. So I think what I want to do is we'll lay them out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9. Though in all honesty, I might have to shift it over. Yeah, let's just plan for it to be shifted over, because I do have to have a space for the nothing else fits here chest. Right. So it will then continue on down the line. Okay. Your fan. It's starting to get warm. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, okay. I do still need a space here for that. I need space for the other chest, the input chest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So if I do it this way, we end up with basically 5 blocks. This will need to be an input chest, so we have 3 or 4 blocks. I mean, that might be doable, right? We'd have a wall here. I would need some input area. Now, we will have a lot of empty space. That's partly by design, okay? One, I like the storage rooms when they can be a little closer in. I know most of my storage rooms in this world are not like that, but I do like that idea. I did that once in a hardcore world, and it was just really nice just to be here and then over here and then over here and then over here. But that was really convenient. Okay. So we could do something along these lines. Okay. And that means I would have chests coming out here. And from here to basically there. Okay. Yeah, something like that. Now I could slide this over one and make this even in between. Or it's even in between now. Make it odd in between. Which would kick this back this way. Like so. In all honesty, that's probably a good choice here. Okay. Okay. All right, so that should be fun. So then if I come over on this side, so that'll be 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. Hang on. Grab this. The scaffolding was marking out something, and no longer is important. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, one of the reasons I am going to enjoy having this extra space back here, one is for some redstone, but two, when you're using copper golems, they can sort non-stackable items, things like chest plates and swords and things like that, right? But to do that, you need a longer redstone signal. So I would definitely have room to set up that signal coming back this way. Okay, so that's going to be handy. I have to go double check what that signal strength needs to be, but be something along those lines. Okay, and then this one, assuming I line them up, which, again, that's the plan, but I could not line them up, right? Because actually, as I'm thinking about this, what I might do, take a little bit of something, but I could block off this doorway here and have an entrance from up this way, from the top of the highway here. Okay. That's a possibility. All right, we'll see how that goes, but that's definitely a thing we can look at. All right, now the next question is going to be a question of height. Okay, so... And that's where this becomes a little bit of a problem, because I do need to have room for the redstone. Yeah, I'm going to need some room for the redstone. But we've got like, well, 3 blocks, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, maybe 8 blocks or so before we even get to the main portal here. So I've got room. So I think what I might do, and I don't know that I need to go crazy because I don't live here, but I could live here. And so storage. I've just been meaning to do this forever. So we're going to do it. Right. So that would go there. This go there. Right. Okay. So now the question is how high. So if I kick this up 2, 3, 4. If I go up 5 chests, we're definitely going to be into the base of that portal, which again isn't necessarily a bad thing. Where is this floor at? This floor is at Y4 minus 46. Okay, and that's at 45. So 46. That's the same level. So really, if I want the floor to line up with something above this, well, it's not going to anyway, because I'm going to have all the redstone, which is going to be at least a couple of blocks above. So isn't that special? So special. Isn't that special? I know it's special. So special. Yes, yes. I think so. Okay. All right, so yeah, we'll have to clean out some of this area for the redstone, but I think it's going to be okay. All right, well, that'll work. Let's go ahead and whip out a crafting table, because I'm definitely going to need one. And while I brought some wood, I don't think I brought enough, so we may have to go farm some. Okay, so basically what I want to do is we're going to make all the chests in the world. Okay. This won't be enough, but... Oops. Hi! I would like to craft the chests, please. Thank you. Alright, so the idea is that we would have chests coming like so. 2, 3. Alright, just 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. And then they would go up higher, and they're going to be obviously full-size chests. Because there's no reason to use chests if you're not going to use the whole thing. That's a thought. Do I want them to be chests? I mean, I can make them anything. I can make them shulker boxes. I can make them barrels. That's an interesting thought. I could also make them copper chests, which would be... Actually, might be a very interesting idea. No, I can't make them copper chests. I'd confuse the copper golems. So, never mind. Alright, so we'd be coming up... Yeah, just now the question of... So I made all of those chests, but now I'm wondering... Do I actually want them to be chests? I absolutely could make them barrels. We'll just have a small issue of, I guess, lack of storage, but because I'd be cutting my available storage space in half if I did that. Shoot. You know what? I think maybe barrels would be cool. Okay. Yeah, maybe barrels would be cool. Unfortunately, they block light. But, you know, that might actually not be a bad thing. I am going to have to run some light under here, but so that I could keep the carpet, I could do some other things, but that's definitely an idea. Okay. All right. See, I even brought some lights. I was originally thinking I would set up chests, I'd put sea lanterns under them, and that would give plenty of light to the room. But if I'm just setting it up, barrels, yeah. Okay, I like the barrel idea. It's gonna look really cool. All right, so I guess I need some more wood, which is fine because just upstairs is my tree farm. So let's sleep and let's go cut down some trees. I guess the next question is, do I know what color I want everything to be? And the answer to that is no. I want this area to be bright. Okay. So I could use something like the warped stem, right? I could use right, I could use that. I could use pale oak for some decorative stuff, but I don't know. What I do know is that I'm going to be planting some spruce, so let's go ahead and just chop down some spruce and we'll make some barrels. Okay, yep. Need to get over there and load some chunks. Because, you know, Voxy's letting me see all the way over to the dome. Okay. Let's get some trees cut down. Let's not get distracted. Let's not get too distracted. We're going to get distracted. That's how this works. Okay. Sorry, that is in fact how this is going to work. The distractions will in fact happen. And I may just have to fly over there and fill in some chunks. But, you know, that's perfectly fine. Distractions are okay, right? Yeah, no. Why would we want to actually, you know, do something? That would be weird. All right. Okay, fill in some. It's always good to replant, you know. I didn't bring any bone meal with me, so we're doing this the old-fashioned way and just chop and plant and hope a tree grows while I'm chopping down the other ones. Okay, so here's a question for y'all. I posted this question in the supporter newsletter, so if you'd like to see that, you just need to become a supporter over at musicfreegaming.com. But we're going to ask it here too. I'm considering starting up a streamed modded Minecraft series, okay? For a number of reasons, but, you know, which we can get into later if somebody is really curious. But I'm considering starting up and streaming a modded Minecraft world. I want to focus that world on applied energistics. Okay, it's a mod I've never played. Because usually I like to stick to create and stuff like that because create is amazing. Which is why I have a create mod Skyblock series going on right now. But if I'm going to be doing applied energistics, I mean that's great, but what would be a good mod, or what would be good mods to pair with it? Now there are a couple of restrictions. Right now I want it to run all on Fabric, okay? Because I prefer Fabric, and there are a couple of mods that I want to use, like Mini HUD and stuff like that, that are Fabric only and not available for Forge. So we're going to stick to Fabric. So that may limit the mods that are available. Okay. And I'll add Farmer's Delight and probably something else because I like Farmer's Delight. But what other mods would go well with applied energistics? Right? What else would go well with AE2? And honestly, I don't know. I don't know the mod well enough, right, to be able to say that, oh yeah, we should use this, or this. I know AE2 is a little bit of an automation mod, right? That's part of what it does. Automation, storage, things like that. I'm kind of thinking I might go crazy and maybe set up like biomes of plenty, right? That might be a thing. Okay, honestly, I think we've got enough. Yeah, so I might do something along those lines and just do a very modded looking world. Because Biomes of Plenty does all sorts of good stuff. Right, so that's an idea. But I don't know what else I want. And honestly, I don't know what my goal is for that world anyway. Like the last time I did a Create Mod streamed series, it was all about the food. Right? Because I built a city that was where it was all automating restaurants and things like that, right? Very fun. But I don't know what I would want the goal to be this time around. Okay? Should be something. I just don't know what. So, yeah. I have another shulker box with glass here. Left over in my inventory from whatever I was doing last time. Alright. So, I need... Okay. Let's craft up some... Come on. I can do it. I can drag. Yep. Awesome. Let's grab some barrels now. Barrels. We're gonna craft the barrels. It's not gonna be enough, but that's okay. We're gonna do it anyway. Alright. So let's go ahead and 2, 3 blocks. Those are all temp blocks. I just want to, because I think I want the barrels facing out, right? I think I want them facing like this. Though maybe I mix and match. Yeah, what if I go something along these lines? Oh, that'll be cool. Yeah. Yeah. That'll be cool. I like that. And then I could put signs all along this all along the center section. That'll look good. I think that'll work. Okay. Now, well, I want to figure out light, but that's actually going to be a harder problem to solve. So, or would I want to return those? Because I like having those that way. I want to try something here real quick, okay? So first off, that's going to go there, right? That row will be that row, right? So we're going to have the barrels come across like that. And then we'll have this row come like so. All right, but what if we do it this way? Okay, we'll just throw some temp blocks. Okay, and we throw those up there like that. All right, so what's a better look here? Right? Do we go with this one where we've got the round opening on the top and the bottom? Or do we take this side where we've got the round opening on the bottom and then the back of the barrel on the top? So we've got that sort of look to it. I mean, I could go either way. I'm sort of leaning here on the left. If I'm going to be honest, I'm sort of leaning left. Okay, I know on the camera, it's, yeah, weird. But okay, no, that's fine. It's fine. We can be weird. Weirdness is accepted here. I accept weirdness. You are a weird flower, and that is perfectly awesome. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and bring that way. Okay. Yeah, I think this is going to work out nicely. And then now I do still have an option because I don't have any of the redstone in place yet. I could shift this over one block depending on what I want to have happen here. Okay. Okay, but let's go ahead and get the next row of barrels in place. Okay. And we're out of barrels. Okay. Good to know. Alright, so barrels and more planks, actually. Those aren't, in fact, barrels. Okay. Alright, slab that up. Let's grab our next batch of barrels here. Which we already know is not going to be enough, but we'll at least get that far. Okay, so boink. Pop this up here like so. All right. That'll work. Let's get our temp blocks out of the way. I really should be using a different temp block than these chiseled stone, but you know, where's the fun in that? Okay, so like for example, I could be using scaffolding for this. Okay. It is okay. 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops. Falling over. So that goes there. Okay. So basically what we're going to do is we'll have two sides here. Now, again, if I were doing chests, I could do under chest lighting. That's not going to be a thing. But that's okay. Okay, and then we mirror this and go on the other side. Now, the input of this happy little monstrosity is going to be on this side, because the reality is, obviously the entrance to the city's over there. Yeah, we're totally going to come. We're going to come in here, or maybe in from over here. Okay, so yeah. So the entrance to this is going to be over here, and we'll dump stuff in. And it will work its way down and around very slowly and make its way back. Okay. That is the master plan. Okay. Such as it is. Sometimes you have a plan. Sometimes you just make it up as you go. Guess what style I typically have? You'll never guess. Yeah, no, totally. It's the, I totally have that whole organized style going on here. Uh-huh, absolutely. Yeah, you know it. I am organized, but only when I want to be. Because I am selectively lazy. Just like my rhymes, you know it all the times. That I don't even make up things. I just think of what I can sing, and they just don't go anywhere close to a rhythm or a rhyme or make any sense at all. And see, I can totally be a professional or something. Okay, so those go across there. I've decided what's happening over here too, by the way. I haven't told you yet, but I've totally decided what's happening on that crooked door. I am absolutely going to block that off. And then right in here, I'm going to have a couple of things, but definitely a place where workstations and stuff would hang out, okay? Now, I saw a really cool thing. This is something Joel Duggan had done. I don't think I'm going to copy it, but it was really cool. Is he set up crafters as storage, right? Now, crafters aren't large, right? It's only 9 blocks. Or, 9 spaces. But you stick a shulker box in each of those, and you end up with a fair amount of storage. Again, it's not crazy, but it's a fair amount, and it doesn't necessarily look like storage, which is kind of cool, actually, when it comes down to it. Yeah, I think I'll deal with some form of overhead lighting. Don't know how it's all going to work out, but that's going to be sort of the idea here. 3. There we go. Okie dokie. But yeah. So anyway, yeah, I've been definitely thinking long and hard about a streamed modded series. And one concern I have, and I didn't really go into this in the newsletter, but I do sometimes have a hard time dealing with multiple Minecraft worlds. The one thing I've got going for the 2 I'm playing in right now is that okay, we're definitely going to need that. The thing I've got going for me for the 2 worlds I have now is they're very, very different. Okay, this is a vanilla world, right? Which is lovely, And then my other world is modded Skyblock, which is great, right? Skyblock is awesome, but it's very different. The goals are different, and they definitely keep me help me keep the world separated, and so I don't quite get, as I'll often do, get sort of distracted and just focus on one world or the other. Okay. So that's a good thing, but adding a third world into that could be an issue. And the reason why it would be a third world is because I don't want to stop playing on this one. Oh, good. We've got some very tall trees. Perfect. Hang on. We're gonna fly like an eagle to the sea. Fly like an eagle and fill in all the chunks so we will fly. Okay, cool. That's better. Yeah, that village over there, that's my starter base. I've had a little villager breeder and villager breeder and a quick and dirty iron farm. Actually, I don't think I even built an iron farm over there. I think it's just a villager breeder. Because I knew I was going to need villagers down in the ancient city, and I figured it was going to be easier to deal with them up on the surface up there. I then eventually built a villager breeder down in the city, but that was much later. So, anyway, yeah. So, trying to figure out what I want to do with a potential modded world. And it's not something I plan on starting right away, but it's definitely something I'm thinking about. And, it's like, when do I want to do it? I'm also thinking of what would my schedule look like, because I don't have that many days available that I can stream. Okay. Not if I also want to be making videos and stuff. I'm already a bit behind schedule of where I want to be on the Skyblock series, partly because I was hoping to have been really productive last week, and then my toe just ruined that. I know you don't need your toe to play Minecraft. That's true. But sometimes I do kind of like to not be in pain, so that kind of messed that up. But, I'm getting there. I'm also running into some interesting challenges, so that world's fun. For various reasons, but yeah. But if I start up another world, it's like, okay, good. I'm excited. We'll play that. And kind of what I'm thinking is that I would play vanilla on Tuesday. Okay. Play modded Minecraft on Thursday, and then Terraria on Saturday. That's sort of the thought. I mean, I could swap the two Minecraft days. So I played modded on Tuesday and vanilla on Thursday. Right? Either of those would be fine. Right? So, that's a possibility. So I don't know. I don't know. And one thing I do know is I don't want to get into one of the big Feed the Beast packs. Aside from the fact that they are all forge based. Those really start to feel not like Minecraft. I mean, try playing Ocean Block at one point, and boy, that ticked me off. It's like, okay, great, I've got iron. Let me make an iron pickaxe. Oh no, you're not allowed to make an iron pickaxe. You have to go through the Tinker's Construct nonsense to get an iron pickaxe. And at that point, I gave up on it. It's like, nope, this is no longer Minecraft. I want the basic gameplay to be the same. Because I like vanilla Minecraft, it turns out. I'm not the type of person who goes to modded because he doesn't like vanilla. I like vanilla Minecraft. Which is why I don't want to stop playing it. But... So, yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to sit and think about it. And so it's not something I'm rushing into because again, I want to figure out what's my goal, right? And this is one of those things, I think I've talked about it in the past. I've seen some people play modded series, and their modded series almost becomes a checklist. It's like, okay, we're just going to work our way through the achievements or the advancement table for the mod, and yep, and that's what the game is. That's what we're doing in the series, and that's fine. But it's not how I want to play it, you know. I think I'll have to go through the advancements just so I kind of know, all right, what the heck is happening with the tech tree? Because that's the nice thing. Create is easy. It's one of the reasons I like it. Is it's the mod progression is very straightforward. It's extremely powerful. You can do lots and lots of stuff with it, which is great. I like that. But the general progression is pretty straightforward. Okay. And I don't know what I think AE2 is a bit more complicated than that. So, yeah. And again, it would be nice to have some sort of goal, right? Like, what is the purpose of playing this world other than the fact I want to play with AE2? And maybe that is the goal. I don't know. Is there something I'm working towards? So I don't necessarily want that to become a pseudo forever world, because that wouldn't make a lot of sense. I mean, it could make a lot of sense. It's not like AE2 wouldn't be a fun mod to just keep playing. But at least I hope it would be a fun mod to keep playing. I, again, don't know. I've never played it before. But it's one of the things I found with Create and also with just regular Redstone is that as much as I like doing things like, you know, building automation and automated farms and all that good stuff, it helps if I have a reason for automating. Right? I cleaned out you clean out an ocean monument, right, because you want prismarine or you want sea lanterns and stuff like that, right? That's certainly why I did it. You know, you build an iron farm because you need iron. Not just because, oh, I just feel like building an iron farm today. Though that's fun too, right? But I don't tend to sit down and build a farm just because, oh, I guess it's time to build this farm. I build it because I want the blocks and stuff. All right, so this is going to be Oh, do I have copper? Probably not. I know I've got some iron here. Because I have an iron farm. It's not fast, but it's because it's only a single-celled iron farm. This was always supposed to be a sort of temporary farm. But I definitely have some iron. Also, I don't know how zombies keep ending up in there, but they do. Okay, so what do I want this room to look like? I am over here because I do in fact need iron, so let's go ahead and grab some of that. 2, 3, 4, 5. We're gonna need more than that, but it's a start. I could probably take all this track out too, but this I put this in because I was moving villagers around back in the day, which, you know, is one of the reasons you build track. Okay. Let's try this again, this time with chests. Okay. There we go. Right, so the plan would be, right, we have hoppers. I didn't look for copper. Okay. Well, we'll do that in a minute then. Okay. It's not always about maximizing storage space. Okay. It can be, but it's not always about that. Okay, so we would have hoppers going something like that. Now, then the next bit is, right, we would have a chest. I mean, yes, but I might want to put that up higher. Okay. So basically what ends up happening then is you run up. You basically have yourself a little redstone thing. Like that. I mean, it actually has to go back a little further. At the very least, it's going to have to go back. Because we put the comparator there, and then dust, and then down. For your basic sorter, it would go like so. And there'd be a redstone torch here, but that would lock all of these hoppers. And I don't think I want that to happen. Okay. I think I want these hoppers to just work. So if I were to back this off one. Oops. I did kind of want that there. Right, so if I back this off one, that redstone goes there. And then I'd have a hopper going like this. Okay. Okay, so then that hopper would be locked. Is that... Actually, I might have to go... that? Yeah, I think so, except... Well, I'm confused. Well, that's okay. I mean, confusion happens to the best of us. I could also move it all up a little bit too, because this puts it up here. That, what is that? 47. Okay. All right. So what if we were to then come up like so? That. See what this looks like. So pull this out this way. This goes out. There, down. Right, get our happy little. It's the same problem. I'm blocking this hopper, and I don't want to lock that hopper. I want to not lock that hopper. I've built one of these before. I even looked at it yesterday to try to remind myself what that looked like. All right. Hang on. My confusion is real, y'all. So I'm gonna fly back to the Badlands. Take a look at what that sort of system is like. Oh, actually, yeah, fly back to the Badlands. I was just trying to think, because I set up a copper system over at spawn, but that one was, I'm not totally happy with that one. It works, and it actually has a nice feature that there's overflow protection and some other stuff, which is handy, but I want to go with something that's a little simpler. Because that one I overbuilt because it was for the community storage, and I wanted it to be a little bit more robust. So we'll head out to the Badlands since this is just going to be me using it, and even with just me, it's not going to get used that much, I think. It depends on how much I decide to actually come back and work on the ancient city. See, I've needed a little bit of a break. I'm getting a little bit, I don't know if burnt out is the right word with the science lab, but I definitely needed a break. I was sort of starting to feel like, yeah, I don't want to keep working here anymore. Some of you know what that's like with your day job. I get that. Okay, so let's head back in here. All right, now, so the way this works, right? We've got the chest, we've got the system. Oh, I see what I've got going on here. Hopper, right, that hopper gets locked. Right, that is, or no, there's a whole second hopper there. Right, that hopper goes into nothing. That hopper gets, that gets locked. We go into a barrel, which I'm using for some indicators here, and then output into the thing. Okay. Okay. Yeah. That makes sense. That makes sense. That indicator light is basically just there as a, hey, this is getting full. As items just flow through it, it doesn't really light up that indicator. I was sort of hoping that it would light up as items were being delivered into that slice. But the reality is that they flow through so fast, the comparator never sees them. But if things get stuck, it is nice to have something that says, hey, this slice is starting to fill up. Thou shalt do something about it, or thou shalt cry. Right? And I would like to not cry, so, you have to, things to think about there, right? All right. Okay, so that's fine. I could kick that up a bit and some other things. Hang on. Fly over the gold farm. Might as well fly high enough that we get some spawns. Okay. Same here with the froglight farm, though. The reality is I have enough froglights, and I think the farm is full anyway. So, That's a thing. All right, so let's go take a look at our redstone. Okay. But yeah, as I'm thinking about turn the gamma back on. As I'm thinking about the modded series, yeah, I was talking about with the idea of like, oh, I could do whatever series I want to, which obviously I can, or whatever mods I want to, and then let's see, do I want to do that? Hang on, I just need to think here a minute. Because I could do the same thing, right? Where I put a thing there and we light that up, but I think, because yes, I think I do want to have some sort of indicator there, but I think I want to have it pushed back a little bit. So let's see. Let's grab my redstone box, which I hope I packed. Yes. Okay. All right. So let's grab a. Oh, I don't have any. I don't have any redstone lamps. Well, that's sad. All right. So we're gonna have some temporary redstone lamps. This note block is going to pretend to be a redstone lamp. Okay? Brought to you today by Fake Redstone Lamp Land. Get it for all of your fake redstone lamp needs. Call now and we'll throw in some fake comparators. Except they might actually be real comparators, and then you can impress your friends. Because you know how easily impressed your friends are. Yeah, they're... Seriously... You need to talk to them because I think they're actually going to be having some issues. Okay, so if that goes in like so, and then we throw in a barrel, and then we redstone, and then this is fine. I just need something to target. Great. Okay, so if we do something along those lines. Yeah, that'll work. And then what I need... Wow. The fun thing about storage systems is they are surprisingly tall. Okay. It's the whole thing about hoppers moving down, you know? Right. It's interesting thought. Do I want that... chest to move over, or can it move over, or what's the deal with my chest? Okay, so comparator redstone, yeah, repeater goes on that goes there, and then the redstone torch goes there. Okay, right, and then that would lock both of those. Okay, and then they feed down into this. And then if this starts getting full, we'll light up our note block, apparently. We'll light up our redstone lamp. Okay. I like that idea. Okay, so that would work. Now, one last thing I'd like to consider here is, since I'm not going to have as much storage inside, right? Because we're doing barrels and not double chests. It would be good to have some form of storage, someplace where I could just stick shulkers. So if this starts to fill up with stone or deep slate or something, I can just load up a shulker and stash it and compress it by hand. Okay. Now, what I have done in the past for that is use barrels. Because I would stick the barrel. Oh, it's an idea. I have to shift some things. But I would stick a barrel, right? I would take my chests, right? The chest would stack up like something like that, and then I would have a chest or a barrel underneath it, sort of like I've got in the science lab. What if I'd have to tear these all out? But what if instead, there. What if instead I do we do a double chest. I can't put a double chest underneath the barrels. Darn it, because if I put right, then I can't open the chest. Darn. Because then I was thinking, oh, a trap door, then cover that up, but you can't open the chest because the barrel is a solid block. Okay, no, that's fine. Yeah, no, that makes fine stuff and things. Okay. So, what is our next step then? So, assuming we have redstone lamps coming across there. Actually, do I have money? I do have money. What do you know? Hang on. I have clerics here. These ones have not been fed to zombies, but it doesn't matter because redstone and glowstone, it all costs 1 emerald anyway. Hi. Yeah. I mean, I guess the glowstone would be cheaper, but that's all right. This'll get us started. If I'm gonna buy a lot of glowstone, I'll head back to the Badlands where I've got clerics with half a brain. Okay, but let's go ahead and come up here, craft up some redstone lamps. Okay. Right, so then the idea is, okay, you have the redstone lamps go like so. Alright, now I said I don't want to put another barrel like right here, right? Because that would be a little funky. I could put barrels here. I could do chests. Or I could do something like, right, disconnected chests with lamps behind them and then just cover those with trapdoors. I think that would work. Hang on. Let's test something here. So if I put something in there. Oh, right. I've got to have a block in between. Okay. Okay, so awesome. And this, my friends, is why we test. Because I forget how redstone works. It's okay. It's okay. I know we all have our moments. This one just happened to be mine. Guess who's almost a senior? That's not me. I am not quite that old. Okay. So that would have to move. That's fine. Right, so this would have to go here, and we'd have a block. And then our barrel would go here. Okay, and might have to move this. All right, and then we take our handy dandy dealy bob like so. Okay. And yeah, that chest can stay there. It doesn't matter. Now, if this has something in it, right, that lights up and says, hey, this is full. And if I had... okay. Let's just grab some spruce trapdoors. I don't know that I want spruce trapdoors, but that's... oops, they'd have to go on the top if I want to be able to actually open those chests. Okay, so if that's like that... okay, that shouldn't power that. Okay, but then if I want to get into the chest, I can. And that's where I could stick in... so if I want to store shulkers of things. Like I said, if this is all stone... ouch. Sorry, I kicked my chair with my heel, and my heel is still really tender because of that strained Achilles. But yeah, then I could come back here and I can do the thing. Pop into that. Okay. Kind of like this idea. Okay. And I still didn't get copper. Okay. All right, so that's the idea. I'm not sold on that spruce trapdoor. Actually, I don't know if I'm opposed to it, but I'm not entirely sold on it. Is pale oak? Pale oak. Pale oak is a solid color, isn't it? Yeah. Solid is good up top, okay? Because I don't actually want to see the chest. I want to open that up. But I was also thinking it might be good to throw a... okay, right, do something like that. But I was also thinking it might be good to throw a trapdoor in front of these lights. Something that would look cooler, okay? Or at least, yeah, look a little bit nicer than that redstone lamp. And that's actually now going to become the question of, let's talk color. Okay. I mean, spruce is great, but it is absolutely not what I'm going to be using here. So, because I want something that's got a little bit, I want something that's brighter. And actually what I want to be able to do is, because the way this is set up then, I could actually come back behind these chests. Right, I'd have to block that off, which would be fine. Right, we can just run sea lanterns here. Okay, and then if I turn off the gammas, we get some light. Now it's still dark, and that side would be lit up as well. We're definitely going to need some more light, but that will definitely help things. Okay. But we've got a lot of brown. I want a color here that's going to break this up. Now, because we're working with spruce, because it's all the barrels, definitely going to need something. What would go well with that? That would be, that would have some gaps, right? I mean, I could do something a little crazy and go cherry. I think I used all my cherry wood. Yeah. I could do cherry, which goes goes fairly well with spruce, actually. I could do bamboo. I certainly have enough bamboo down here that that it wouldn't be hard to get resources to make bamboo trapdoors. I could do warped wood. Or even just the regular crimson stem. I could do that too, but I think that would be the wrong colors. I think that's not quite how I want to do things. So let's meander over this way. Do I think... Would the yellow be the right way to go here? Oh. Okay. Yeah, definitely getting bone meal. Actually, bone blocks would be an interesting addition to this too. Alright, we'll think about that. But in the meantime, we've got some bamboo. So, okay, let's turn this into bamboo blocks, which gets turned into planks, which gets turned into trapdoors. Okay, lots of them apparently. I obviously lots of them because we've got that we've got a resource pack that cranks up the number of trapdoors that you craft per set. Got kind of used to it. Too used to it, in fact. Okay, but if I were to take some bamboo trapdoors. Okay. I don't know. I'm not entirely sold on that. Let's it's not bad. I think I want a little bit more contrast, if I'm going to be honest with you. I consider mangrove, but mangrove is kind of dark. I would rather have something a bit lighter. Unfortunately, when you're looking at trapdoors, you don't get a lot of options. I mean, you get the copper trapdoors, which are bright orange, or scaled down various shades of orange or green, right, as they go. Pink is good. You can't see through the birch. I don't think I want to do acacia, which is also one of the arguments against copper, if I'm going to be honest with you. I don't really want the orange. And I'm not entirely sure I want the green. Jungle. Yeah, that one's solid. Oak. My options are somewhat limited here, y'all. Maybe copper is the way to go and just let it, because I don't think I want the warped trapdoors. I don't think I want the waviness of them, you know? Yeah, I don't like this. Well, bamboo is really cool. You can do some cool things with it, and I have, but I don't think I want bamboo. Okay. Actually, what are my light levels looking like? 6, 7. Right, that's why over here I'm not worried about things spawning in here because it's an ancient city and mobs don't spawn in ancient cities. Just the warden, and that's not a problem here. If I were to put a light, if I had some lights up, oops, coming across like this. Is it going to make a difference? Honestly, they're high enough up. I don't think it will. Yeah, if I want it to be brighter down at the ground. Yeah, I mean it does light it up a little bit, but I'm going to have to put in some underfloor lighting. Okay. Doable. Okay, that's not a problem. Just something to think about. Okay. Okay. So let's... Okay. We'll come back to the trapdoors. I want to try something else here real quick. Okay. Because, you know, the trapdoors are fine and all, but... Let's see. I want to get some bone blocks. Now we've got all the color in the world here because we've got our sheep farm. But let's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't have a crafting table right there. That's okay. Tis fine. Tis. Oh, let's go ahead and craft up some bone blocks. Okay. So what if we bring in some bone blocks here? Okay. This is going to have to go away. How does that look? It's very clean. It's very clean. I like that because this is where the shelves are, or where the barrels are. It's very busy. Okay. It's very busy, right? Because you've got all of the barrel textures and all of that stuff. So having something that's a little more flat is kind of nice. Okay. Okay, so I guess that's good. So, okay, right, then I can load that up. And I could replace those top spruce blocks with, or spruce trapdoors with pale oak trapdoors. That's totally a thing. Okay, which might fill that out, perhaps. All right, let me see if I have any copper here. Otherwise, oh, where am I going to have copper? I might have some at the Badlands. I know I have some at the... I know I have some in the science lab. Out of quartz, some gold. You know, smithing templates. Ooh, 8 raw copper. Got some cut copper. That's not going to, yeah, and those copper ingots aren't going to do it. Actually, I'm going to take these. We're going to need some more copper ingots, but, because I don't think I can do anything with these, right? Yeah. You have to have regular copper blocks to get copper ingots back. So, what if... I mean, I could bring this... Actually, bringing that bone to the floor isn't a bad idea. Okay, so what if I were to take this oxidized copper? I kind of like that. I might break it up a little bit with some blocks and stuff just to vary the texture, but right, if I were to do something along these lines. Okay. And then, yeah, obviously I would have a ceiling. I don't know what the ceiling would be. But if I were to come in, so just one blocks I do. Cool. Okay. And we do something along these lines. Let's go ahead. For now, I'm going to leave the carpet there. I actually kind of like that. I might change out the color, but if I leave the carpet there, that's going to give me a place where I can put in some in-floor lighting, right? Because I can then bring back sea lanterns and just load the heck up under that. Okay, that might be good. Okay, I just don't need that. I don't. Some people think that I do, but I don't. Right. Right, so I could take something along these lines. Because I do like how clean this is. Okay. Yes, there is a little bit of a shading here between the blocks, but, you know, that's okay. If I were to take that, and I could maybe do a little bit more with it, but let's go take that out. Take some oxidized copper up like so. Yeah, I would definitely need some more oxidized copper, but I know where I can get it. I've got a couple of trial chambers I can tear apart for that. Might even come in with some frog lights here. Kind of like the idea of maybe doing a little bit of recessed lighting. Frog lights or sea lanterns or something. And, you know, I could do iron bars. I could do fences would be good. You know, like some pale oak fences or something like that might be good and that type of thing. Yeah, almost certainly would want to use frog lights instead of sea lanterns. I don't want that thick bar going across the middle, you know? There's a little bit of that with the frog lights, but not nearly to the same extent. Right, so if I were to come in here with the verdant frog lights, pop up like so. Yeah, you still get a little bit of that. That's unfortunate. Okay. Yeah, I mean, you get a little bit less if you're looking at them head on. Right, so if I were to just temporarily... Yep, barrels make perfect temp blocks. Right, so if we were to stick them in edge on, right? Yeah, that's not quite so bad. If I can then put something in front of it, you know, some glass, something, it might be good. I don't know. But I think that's giving me an idea of how this is going to go. But yeah, it's something to add a little bit of depth here because we've got a lot of... heck, it's really flat, okay? That's not necessarily a bad thing, but a little bit of something to break up the depth. I've already talked about wanting to do something here. Instead, if I were to bring copper trapdoors, especially if I let them oxidize, that might work. And if I use pale oak trapdoors instead of the spruce, oops. All right, well, that's gonna have to. Well, I don't know. I don't know about the pale oak. That might not be a thing. Because if I'm bringing the bone blocks, right? Right, we got all the bones. I might do something similar up top. Here, let's add some light here. Okay. All right, we'll grab some sea lanterns. We'll place down our carpet again. All right. Now, see, now we've got a lot of light. If I put a good ceiling on top of here, I don't know what, but like I said, it could be some more bone blocks. It might be diorite. I don't know. You know, polished diorite maybe. I mean, we've got options, okay? But this will give us plenty of light, and it definitely won't feel like won't feel so much like we're in a cave. Okay, I mean, we are in a cave, but one of the things that I've really learned when I was working down here and building this in the first place, when I was first down in the ancient city, is that light is life. Okay? When you look at an ancient city, it's dead, right? Look at this. Look, you see how it's all dark and stuff. But when you have places where there's light, like this area over here, or back over here where we've got the masons and this dock and stuff, right? There's life there. Everywhere it's dark, it's sort of dead and horrible, right? There's just nothing there. But where you've got light, like when you get over here again to the city, this is alive. This is very much alive, right? You can see, oh yeah, there are people living here and stuff like that, right? The darkness over here is like, yeah, we don't go to that place. That's a scary place. But once you get in here where it's all lit and stuff, yep, life happens here. And that's what we're trying to go for as I build this out, is I want this area to be well lit. Now, the other thing, I haven't talked about it because honestly I haven't thought about it much, is what I want to do with this exterior wall. Part of me wants it to kind of be the same. Like, I want to keep it mostly what it is. I may change it out. I may completely change it. I don't know. But I do kind of like the idea of keeping at least part of this portion of the city. But I don't know. I don't. Okay, so if we were to do something like this, I'd want something. All right, well, let's take a quick detour then, because I'm going to need some inventory space. Frog lights go back in there. Okay, we'll go and put those away. And I have no place to put hoppers. Cool. Here, let's do this. We'll take the hoppers, put the levers in. Okay. That will work. Okay. So, actually, you know what could be interesting? What if I were to come in here with resin walls? Okay. Obviously, it would be bright. We'd have the bright orange. It wouldn't matter how we place the frog lights because they're just going to be so freaking bright. Okay. That's definitely a thought. All right, let's go traveling and see what we can do about some resources and maybe some rockets. Let's see what we can do about some rockets. Of course. Yeah. We have ourselves an ender chest. Ooh, I'm just about out of ender chests. All right, I'm gonna have to see about that here, aren't I? Okay. Well, on our way, I'll stop by the gold farm, and we'll pick up some obsidian, and I think I've got some blaze powder somewhere. Heck, I've got a blaze farm, so you know I should have blaze rods or something there, so I can make eyes of ender. So we're gonna make a couple of stops on the way to see if I've got some resin and copper. All right, so gold farm is this way. Okay, so grab some obsidian. Yeah, we'll make a bunch. That's fine. All right, and this way. Yeah, I think this is going to be good. I think we'll have some really interesting possibilities here. Not totally convinced the resin's going to be the way to go on this, by the way. But it's definitely worth experimenting with, right? And, you know, it doesn't hurt to experiment. Unless you're the one being experimented on, in which case it might hurt, but you signed up for it, and so it's okay, right? You've totally signed the disclaimer, and therefore any pain you may or may not feel, any discomfort you may or may not feel during the course of the experiment is really all on you, okay? That's just how that goes. All right, let's try this again. Open, please. Thank you. All right, so let's see what we've got. Let's see what we've got. Mob drops. Mob drops. Here we go. Yeah. We're gonna need a few of those. Okay. Probably not that many. Let's just grab a, oops. Just grab a stack of ender pearls. Okay. Turn those into eyes of ender. Wonderful. All right. So now I should be able to come over here. Craft up some ender chests. There we go. Wonderful. Look how awesome we are. All right. Don't know where I put skulk. Did I put skulk? Terracotta? Ores? and stuff. Fairly certain I put it somewhere. Okay, got some dripstone. Well, I don't know where I put it. Apparently, I hope I've got a spot for it somewhere. But if not, I guess it'll just get sorted or not. All right, that's empty shulkers. Let's skulk. All right, it'll go somewhere. Said it may end up in the overflow, but the unsorted area. But that's okay. All right, let's get over here and look at resin. Okay, I've got some resin walls. Perfect. Oh, I'm gonna have to smelt up some resin. Looks like gravel. Yeah, let's see if I've got more resin. Should have I do have an empty shulker box over there. Cool. Let's go pick up some resin. Oh, I need to look at copper here too, don't I? That's right. That's the other reason I'm here. Okay. Resin. Copper. Old copper. Hardly anything. Okay. Oh, sweet. Alright, so we've got some blocks of copper. Got some yeah, some chiseled copper may come in handy with this. I could even do copper grates. Okay, that might be a thing. We may be bringing in some of this. Because yeah, some copper grates or some other things might be cool, especially in that. Right, we'd have that wall next to the chests. Of course, looking out or looking through them at the barrels might not be the greatest thing, but all right, let's make our way over here. All right, we'll fill in the space to make Voxy happy. All right. Hot cow. All right, let's see what we've got in the way of resin. Wow, that's it, huh? Somebody's gonna have to run the resin farm. Okay, well, you know, that's a problem for future me. I have some resin, which will be enough that we can test the look and feel of this. I know I could have come from that side. I just couldn't find the gap, so I didn't go through it. All right. All right. Oh, I didn't. Oh, I did bring some copper. Right. And I'm going to have to cook. I'm going to have to cook that resin. Yeah, let's do that first. It'll give me a chance. Because I know I've got some copper over here in the science lab too, so. All right, we're just going to go pick up some stuff. All right. Let's see up. I really need to label these better. Okay, down. All right. So one of the first things I'm going to have to do is, yeah, we're going to have to deal with this. Unfortunately, yeah. Okay, yeah, just throw that in there. Oh yeah, we're just going to make a big mess. But I'm sure it's going to be fine. Okay. Yeah, see? Totally fine. Right. Same thing with this batch, so... Yeah, we'll take a look. Because I think I've got a bunch of copper ore over here. But if I need to, then sometime here in the next week, we'll get some more. Okay. Let's see what we've got in the way of copper ores here. We've got some. I'd have to break out my fortune pickaxe, unfortunately. Okay, we've got a couple of blocks here, too. So this'll... I'll just bring those with me. That'll be fine. That'll give us copper to play with. And if I need to, I can absolutely come back. And we'll get stuff. Okay? That'll be good. So I guess we're going to have to wait here a minute for this to finish smelting. Fortunately, it's... Turns out smelting up, well, whatever that is, 18 stacks of stuff is not going to be that big a deal. It's just not. I mean, sure, is it going to take a couple of minutes? Yeah, probably. But that's all it's going to take. Because this is going to be... Yeah, obviously we've got more. Dropping off more. Still cooking. You know. And that... This is good. I timed that once. That minecart actually manages to get back around to be able to drop off more stuff, I think. Or at least it did at one point. Apparently it's not now. It was going fast enough at one point to keep up with it, but apparently my timing is off now. I don't know if it was ever on, but what might be good to do, because I've got this reset circuit here. So if it's empty, it comes back. If it's full, it goes there. I might have to redirect that so it checks here. And if it's full, then it goes back that way. And otherwise, it comes back over there. Just the idea was that, hey, it comes this way and checks. So if you accidentally send off an empty one, it just comes right back. It's still probably doable to do over here, but yeah, whatever. It's one of those minor inefficiencies. Is it worth fixing? Yeah, probably in the long term. Am I going to fix it? Probably not. Okay. Again, selectively lazy. I'll build this giant farm, but I won't necessarily go in and fix all the little things. It works well enough. I like it. Okay, so we're so basically, because I had 18 stacks, the time it's going to take for that to cook is enough time to go through 18 of those things. So again, fairly quick. At least, relatively speaking. Anyway. So let's see if there's anything else going on. Probably not. Probably not. It's totally and completely fine and stuff, right? Yeah. Okay. Yep, so it's done putting in the stuff that it needs. And that means we should be getting output here fairly quickly. In fact, looks like we're done. So yeah, so we should be getting our output back here in just a moment. Yep, there it is, see? I like having those little audio cues when they come back. Now, obviously, I was just sitting here and waiting for it, but had I been doing other things, just having that tone that comes back says, "Oh, yep, we're done now." That would have been that's handy. Okay. Okay, up to the portal we go, and then we'll head back to the ancient city. Oh, right across the nether roof. Gotta love it. So while I'm fine, let me talk about what's going to be happening on Thursday. So Thursday I'll be in Terraria, and that is 100% going to be an organization stream. I'm going to be cleaning up and setting up a warehouse of sorts so that I can get all of my stuff together and just know, yep, this is where I'm leaving my items, right? Because right now I've got them spread across all over the place, and I can't remember where anything is, and searching for stuff is hard. So yeah, I'm going to set up a some sort of warehouse and a crafting area and all that stuff, because it's just going to be so much easier to deal with. So that's the plan. Of course, you know, I have a smelter over here. It's not as cool. It's only about a third the size. Shade more, but because this smelter in here is a 23 furnace smelter versus the 64 furnace smelter that's in the science lab. But since we were over there, it worked. Okay, so all right, so let's go ahead and set this somewhere. And let's take a look at this. So if I were to stop resin wall there. Oh, that's actually not bad. That's not bad at all. And I've got some copper trapdoors. Yeah, I think I would want those to turn. Let those oxidize. But I think this is going to work. Yeah, I think that's going to be good, because yeah, you got to close your eyes and squint and pretend that those are green. But I think that's going to be good, even with the lights behind it. Now, with the lights behind it like this, you can't really see them much, the redstone lamps. There'll be a little bit more prominence. There'll be some more contrast with when these turn green, because you'll get that brownish stuff of the lamp. Or when they turn on, obviously you'll get all the yellow goodness. But I like this. I'm going to need all the bone blocks in the world for the floor. And possibly the ceiling, but I like what this is doing. I think this is going to work out just fine. And then what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to need 18 trillion copper golems, which is fine. It turns out I just got a bunch of copper, and I have a lot of pumpkins over here. So that'll work. Okay. Yeah, I think this will work. And then what I'm going to have to do is set up the redstone on this side just to see how much I'm going to have to dig out. Like you can see, this is up at Y44. The golems are going to sit on top of this. So we'll need at least a block above. So that's 44. This is 43. So yeah, all of this, where all that soul sand, all of that stuff, that's all going to have to come out. Okay. Which is okay. And we still have most of the rest of the portal on top of it. Now, I may still replace this portal. I don't know. And, who knows? This portal, these reinforced deep slate blocks, this portal might actually become useful, might actually do something, so that's fun. Right now, I just have another portal stuck behind it. So, it looks like the portal is cool. So, we got that going for us. Actually, that is something I need to think about. I was talking about maybe putting workstations and stuff over here, which I could do. I do actually need an elevator to get me up and down to the nether portal up here. Okay. I don't know what that elevator is going to look like. It could be as simple as bubble vaders. It might be. I haven't upgraded to the Chaos Cubed update, so I don't have geysers yet. But it could be geysers. So something. Okay. Well, if I'm going to I want these to oxidize. Let's see, do I have a space here somewhere? All right, we're going to come out here. Yes, this is a little silly, but this is where I have space. All right. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, it's not going to be perfect, but 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Because it would be better if those were a little bit further apart, but it's okay. We'll just do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. Yep, just spreading them out. It's a thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. All right, we'll just let those oxidize while I'm working on the rest of the build. Okay. That's definitely not going to be enough, so I guess we're going over here now. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And yes, that again, there should be one more block between these, but I don't know how much it's going to matter. Pixel Riffs put out a short that actually proved the speed of changing all of this stuff. And I don't remember. Spacing it out, I think, worked best. But I don't know. There's something. It's a thing. All right, cool. So we've got that, and it's just, of course, I've got all this room back here too. So just, it's not perfect, but good enough. Yeah, we'll let all of that oxidize. All right. All right. Yeah, but this is definitely going to be good. So grab my redstone chest again. All right, so let's go ahead and grab those lamps. I'm also going to need some more redstone. Turns out, if you want to make redstone lamps, you need redstone. I know, weird, right? True. Okay. Not a lot of redstone lamps, but I want to get the next... I want to get this side over here done. All right, hang on just a second. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. My nose was starting to run, like starting to feel a little bit like some form of allergy nonsense and stuff. You know what? Let's just take care of that right now. Chests. Okay, and then yeah, so that's okay. And then do I want to go ahead and just use the spruce trapdoors? I mean, I've got them. They're here. They're easy. Okay, also done with the great carpet for the moment. All right, spruce trapdoors. Okay. All right, so that's going to go there. Oh, that's... I guess we're going to dig up some of these. 3, 4. I guess we're digging up all of these. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All but one, apparently. Cool. Oh, I need to also deal with my ender chests now. Because I forgot to do that. Oops, come on. Oh, and I made a bunch, and I really just need a couple of them in my bundle, and then the other ones. Okay. A couple of them go in the bundle, the other ones go into the toolbox. Okay. All right. Great. All right, so that's So that's a thing. Let's go get... Oh, boy. Okay. Got some of that. Oops. Put that away. Okay. Let's go get some more bones. Okay. We're going to just leave a crafting table in here. This is going to make this a lot easier. Alright. So we'll just slap a crafting table there. That works. Okay. So it's not the fastest bone meal farm. I've got a faster one. So I've got an actual moss farm. But I need to empty this out anyway, so we're going to do that. Yeah, because I have over here... I have a moss farm over that way. That one was designed... At least I followed a tutorial from Raceworks. Not the fastest moss farm ever. It's okay, but nothing too crazy on that one. I think for the size, I think my the moss farm I designed is faster. That's gonna be one of those other projects I might pick at from time to time. Is I want to dig out the space above my moss farm over in the Badlands, and just start looking at making that thing taller. Hey, Retro, how's it going over there on Beam? Hope you're having a fabulous day. Okay, just spread this out like so. Yes, happy Tuesday to you as well. Yes, welcome. Yep, I have been meaning to move my storage to the center of this ancient city for years. I'm finally getting around to it. At least the storage in the ancient city. How long have I been on Beam? Honestly, I don't remember. I've been on there for a while. It's been a hot minute. Okay, that'll work. Let's go ahead and replace this. This makes day 10 for you? Nice. Yeah, I've been... Shoot. It's been... Might be a couple of years, actually, for me. I can't remember. I don't remember exactly... Because I went to Beam so that I could multi-stream. Because I was having some issues with Restream, and... Turns out Beam is a much nicer platform. Just all around. Let's see. Do I still have some oxidized copper? I do, which is great. Oh, turns out... Well, that was dumb. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's going to go up that way. Yeah, and since you can't see the blocks, I'll just use sea lanterns behind that instead of the pearlescent frog lights. Not that it's going to matter as far as resources go, because I have lots of both. But... Alright, sweet. Alright, sea lanterns go back here. I don't know what I'm going to put in the floor there. We'll figure that out at some point. Okay, and we're out of oxidized copper. Awesome. Okay, I should have a stone cutter in my dealy bob here. Yep, there we go. All right. Block cut copper. Oh yeah, got a bunch of that now. Obviously, this is going to have to oxidize, but that's fine. We'll deal with that. If only I had a storage room. I do. My storage is all over there. Basically my starter storage. Yeah, see, this was okay, grab that. This was basically my starter base for a while. Starter base. Yeah, when I started this world, I moved into this ancient city and started to renovate. And then, you know, took a break, played Create Mod for a while, came back, you know, all the fun stuff. But this was one of those projects that was one of the things I really wanted to do in this city was oh, I'm gonna need, darn it. Yeah, I wanted to move my base over here, so I think it's worth the time. Yeah, I'm gonna have to restock on those anyway, on emeralds. So let's go ahead. Yeah, go ahead and just place the rest in here. Let's head back to the Badlands, where I can get some more emeralds, and then we'll stock up on stuff. You know, the blaze stuff. Blaze stuff. Not blaze. Stupid. Broken. Empty. Brain. I have a functioning brain. I'm fairly certain. I don't know. I'm getting to the age where I'm not totally convinced my brain actually does still function. But we're going to kind of hope that it does. And that I will remember that the word I'm looking for is glowstone. And we'll go from there. Right? Yes. Yes. The fact that I can remember glowstone means my brain still is at least semi-functional. I think. All right. Wherefore art thou? Base this way. All right. So we are gonna head over to the Badlands, where I've got my villager trading hall. I have a couple villagers in the ancient city, but for what I'm going to want to do, I'm going to need some more quantity here. So, yeah, so we'll get into all of that fun stuff. Righty then. Ta-da! So let's see. What else is going on? Not a lot. Yes, this is where my trading hall is. And oh, got a little hitch there. Turn off the gamma override. I had the gamma on because it's just really dark in the ancient city. Okay, oh, I need iron. Yep, this is one of those things too. I need to tweak my iron farm. It's a little bit slower than it should be, you know? Oh, looks like I've got plenty. All right. We're only going to get one round here because it's nighttime. Oh, that's fine. Ah, cheese monkeys. Well, now I have bells. Because, you know, bells are awesome or something. Alright, yep. So you see, I've done that a couple of times. Alright, let's meander over to my clerics. We'll do a round so I can buy some glowstone, and then we shall sleep. Fortunately, the clerics are around this way. Alright, hello guys. This is why I'm trading with them over here. I've got a bunch of clerics in the ancient city, but I hadn't fed them to zombies, so they're fine for getting redstone, less fine for everything else. Alrighty. Great. Enjoy. Yeah, because that's... Actually, that's probably going to be enough. Yeah, for the redstone lamps going down, because it's 9 per section, I've got 6 sections. Yeah, that should be fine. Just 1 stack should be enough, but... So we'll go with that. We'll go ahead and sell off a bunch of this, these emeralds here. Or, this emeralds, this iron. Right. Oh. Sadness. All right, we gotta wait for a couple hours. Yeah, so this is my trading hall. Got a couple of villagers here, just waiting for them to figure out. Waiting for me to figure out what I want to do with them. One of them should become a lunge librarian, but yeah. So I've got librarians for all of the books, and all of these guys have been cured, so. The books are all relatively cheap, so that's a win. Yep, and then let's see. Oh yeah, over here I've got some masons. So if I need all the mason stuff, I've got a mason for every terracotta and glazed terracotta. So they're here in this happy wonderland. Okay. And then I've got a few guys here just for random things. Maps and item frames and golden carrots, which turns out it's actually kind of helpful. You know. I don't think I've updated that map in a while. Alright, well that's a problem for future me. I'm not going to worry about it right now. So, yeah. Anyway, so this is my happy little base here. Okay, there we go. I sort of consider this my main base. But I now have 3, so I don't know if that makes a whole lot of difference or not, but still. Okay. Obviously all of these guys have been cured, so they're buying it's 1 iron for emerald, not 4 iron, which is lovely. If my iron farm were actually behaving itself, this would be even better, but you know, you work with what you've got. Alright, so that goes in there. This goes back in my pocket. Alright. Nice. So, let's make our way back to the Badlands. Actually, let's go faster way down. Or not to the Badlands, that's where I'm at. Make our way back to the city, and we can get a bunch more of those happy little jeez, redstone lamps. It must be getting late. Yeah. Okay, it's not that late. It's almost 8:30, but I have to get up in the morning. I'm an early riser, so I'm typically up about 5:30. Sometimes a little earlier. So, you know, looking at, bedtime around 9, so yeah, it's getting a little late. Welcome to middle age. Enjoy it. Or, don't. Oh, man. I have been dealing with all the fun with middle age right now. With the with arthritis and gout and all sorts of other nonsense. Not the most fun I could be having in my body, I'll tell you. Okay, we'll just get a little altitude so the gold farm picks up a little bit. Alright. I don't know if it would matter if I added a couple more layers to that farm. It's... It mostly works now, but... I don't know. I actually haven't checked to see if I hit mob cap with it. All right. I really need to figure out. I like the side of this building. I'm not overly fond of the ends. I have a tendency to build a little flat, and I need to work on that. Alright. Sweet. Alright, that goes... Oh, actually, I need that. Honestly, I should have bought more redstone while I was over chatting with those villagers. That's okay. Instead, I've got a lot of clerics over here, so redstone isn't the problem. But, you know, I was right there. Alright, hey guys. I need redstone. Actually, I'm going to need a lot of redstone anyway, because I need to get all the stuff for the sorting systems. So, I'm going to be crafting lots of comparators, lots of repeaters, you know, all the good stuff. And that guy, I think, is the leather worker. Yep. Okay. I made it a habit for a long time to always have a leather worker just as part of my trading halls, because the leather worker then gives you saddles. Well, heck, at this point, saddles are kind of free. Or they're not free, I mean, you can craft them, so I don't have to worry about that part anymore. Do I have chests on me? I do, not enough. Okay. Cool. So yeah, so let's go ahead and get the facades up anyway. Okay. Yep. This is gonna have to come out. All right. Phew. Can I get that in there? Yeah. Ta-da! Okay. Yeah, and those chests are basically just... Those are not sorted. I'm not sorting anything into those chests. Those are just there so that I can have a place to stick things. Like if I have shulker boxes I want to put, you know, condensed stuff down into. It's all going to go in there. All right. Well, while we're... Oh, that's resin. Okay, that'll work. While we're waiting for the rest of our copper to oxidize, I guess we're going to... Oh, copper trapdoors are so expensive. I mean, I could go mine them out of the out of a trial chamber. It's probably the best option these days, but I don't want to right now because I am lazy. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but that definitely hits me right now. Okay. I think I have a hoe somewhere too, but... Okay, so that's gonna go... Oh, I am gonna have to place these from up top. Because if I don't, they're gonna stick together. I don't want that. I want these chests to be separate. I mean, technically, they could be barrels, but I want them to be chests because I want to put some light behind them. And that way the light won't shine through barrels, but it will shine through chests. So that's the plan. Okay. Okie dokie. Now, slap our trapdoors in place. Come on. Assuming I can click on things, we can slap some trapdoors in place. All right, so let's get ourselves a little bit more in the sea lantern department. Right, because let me double check, because I sort of set the template back here, so. Okay. Come on, I can do it. That's right. I am totally capable of placing things. Okay. All right. Wonderful. Oh, I need to place lights back behind. Oh, I've got them there. Okay. All right. Now, just because this is going to bug me, there's no reason for it to bug me, but it's going to bug me. So let's replace those frog lights with sea lanterns. When there was a possibility that I was going to be able to see them, then it made some sense to look at frog lights because they were a little bit nicer for what I was going for. But now, heck, can't see them. We'll just stick to sea lanterns, especially because oops, that's the wrong box. I mean, I can get them both in bulk. I was going to say, because I can get sea lanterns in bulk, but the reality is I can get them all in bulk. Because I just have a lot of that. Okay, yeah, see, this is going to be fairly nice. Yeah, we'll let those oxidize, I think, and that's going to be better. Especially once, this pillar oxidizes as well. Yeah, it's all cut copper. It's not waxed, so. Yeah, so this will be good. And then what I can do is, let's see. Let's craft up a bunch of spruce signs. Right? Yeah, we'll just run the signs down like so. Right, and then this way I can label them. I'll get some dyes and stuff and some glow squid ink, right? So I can light that all up. But that's the idea. Is, yeah, let's get that. This actually also adds some nice depth while still staying right there with the color. I mean, if I were to go with a different color for that, which absolutely I could. I could go with pale oak or something, right? But I think it would draw more attention to the signs than I really want. I mean, maybe some maybe warped signs would be okay here too. But I think this will work out just fine. And no, I don't want to do item frames. I mean, they wouldn't be too bad. I mean, it would be obviously a few frames, if you're ultra concerned about lag, but I'm not. Okay. At least not at this scale. It's not like I'm really drowning in item frames over here. Okay. Yeah, so that's going to be the idea. I need to figure out what's going to happen with the roof. Or with the ceiling here. But that is definitely going to be the idea. which I'm happy with. So, all right, so let's get some stuff. Looking at the time, like I said it's 8:30, so I'm not going to have time to go crazy. Let's just go ahead and run this all the way back. Yeah, so I'm not going to have time to get all of this done, obviously, before I have to shut it down for the night. But, at least I can make a fairly good start here. I don't have any hoppers on me. Obviously, there should be a hopper under that barrel, but I took it out because I was doing some testing and just didn't put it back. Oh, yeah, see? There's an oxidized copper trapdoor. So, yeah, I think something along those lines is going to be the way to go. I don't know, maybe I should leave them orange or scrape them back one level so they're weathered and not fully oxidized. We'll see. I think it'll be good just to let it to let that I don't know, let it change so I can see what it looks like. This is why so many creators, and just Minecrafters in general, but creators like to oxidize all of their copper first so they can place it and then just scrape it back to whatever level they want. But I don't have a system for that, so we'll just go with it. Alright. This is going to go this way, just like so. This pops over like this. Right. And so far, fine. Obviously, it to get some repeaters in here. Setting up the system, because this is really just a low-end item sorter. Right? If you were to extend this one block, it would be your Impulse SV sorter. For the copper golems, it doesn't have to be that big, at least for your regular blocks. If you're going to be sorting out non-stackable items, then yeah, you need to extend it out quite a bit, but that's not what we're going to be dealing with here today. All right, so that's going to go there. All right, yeah, I need to figure out what I want to do for the ceiling, because this is not it. I mean, a little bit of deep slate or something stuck somewhere wouldn't necessarily be bad. Maybe a little skulk tucked in a couple of places might be good. You know what I want? I want a different color than that copper. All this copper that's on the sides, I want to replace it. I want to replace it with something else. I don't know what, but definitely not that green. It's not the right color. I don't know what, but I don't know that I like it. I might come in with some green terracotta. I like that color combination, but I don't know. I don't know. I can go any number of ways on that. So for now, we'll just stick with the copper as it sits. Now, so this is a thing, right? So we're gonna have copper Cut copper coming up this way. Oh, I should maybe get some cut copper oxidizing, right? Because that's definitely going to be a thing I need. Remember, it's like 4 blocks in between. Gives you the best speed, I guess. But so that should be fairly close. 2, 3, 4, something like that. Is it perfect? No. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, but it's a copper field. Now, since I'm not going to pull a Pixel Riffs and build a gigantic redstone aging or a copper aging machine, seriously, if you have not seen Pixel Riffs, David 6, I think he's on now. It's pretty impressive. 2, 3, 4. Definitely worth taking a look at. He's I can't remember if he's talked about it recently in a video, but it's been the focus of his streams for a while. Okay. Yep, it's already starting to change. That's great. All right. And yeah, we'll lay it a little bit more here too, because of course being next to that actually would probably help it a little bit. Because copper is influenced to some extent by the blocks around them, which is why having them next to other blocks that haven't changed slows things down a little bit. Placing them on copper, I don't know that that makes a difference. I'd have to go back. Again, Pixel Riffs is like the copper king. He knows all about the copper. Yeah. Anyway. So, okay. Nice. So what do I have in the way of repeaters? Nothing. Awesome. Okie dokie. Well, I guess one thing we're going to need is sticks. Oh, I've got spruce logs right here. Heck, I even have sticks. Not enough, but got some. Okay, come on. I can do the thing. I have the technology. There we go. Alright, and some more redstone. There, because... Oh, do I have stone? I mean, obviously I've got smooth stone. I don't think I've got any actual regular stone. I'm gonna have to head back to the science lab and pick up some stone. Hey, Chair. Nobody here today. That's the theory. I mean, there are a couple people around. How you doing, Chair? Hope you're having a fabulous day. Yeah, no stone. All right. Well, back to the science lab. So, grab some stone. Because I'm going to need it to craft repeaters and comparators and all that nonsense. It's alright. Well, hope it gets better, however it's going. You could be having the best day ever. I'd still want your day to get better. So. Where am I? There I am. Sorry, I'm being easily confused. It's that sort of day. All right. All right. Make my way back to the science lab so we can pick up some stone. Actually, I probably have some over in the Badlands too, but the science lab, I probably have it already boxed up in shulkers, which is convenient. All right, so let's see. So I'm not going to be going for too much longer, actually, because I do, in fact, want to sleep tonight. So get to sleep at a reasonable hour. And I might want to ice my foot before I go to bed, so... So we shall see. Alright. Turn off the gamma override so it doesn't look quite so unnatural in here. Oh, it's a science lab. It should look unnatural, right? That's gravel, gravel. That one's all stone. Okay. Perfect. That will work. Alright, well, back we go. Gotta clean up my shulker monsters in here, too. Anyway, so what am I doing today? So, I'm going back to a project I had wanted to do years ago. This way. And I am setting up an automated storage room in my ancient city base. It's going to be copper golem powered. I had thought about making a big redstone contraption, but I don't want to. I was originally going to, and I had it marked out so I had room for it, but I just don't want to. Copper golems are not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but they're good enough, and that's okay with me. So, go with that. Almost out of rockets. So yeah, so that's kind of what I've been working on. As soon as we get back, we'll stock up on rockets again and we'll take a look. Doing unfinished projects, kinda, yeah. I mean, that's partly what I did last week. Well, I guess last time I played, because I didn't play Minecraft last week. I was all in Terraria. But last week when I updated the gold farm, so it would craft nuggets and ingots, and so I could throw a switch and have it feed the piglins. Which, none of that was possible when I built it. So yeah, I'm kind of in an unfinished projects kind of mood right now, so... Actually, you know what? Let's just grab a full stack. Alright. Nice. Yeah, so this was my starter base in this world. Nice little area. It turns out ancient cities are wonderful places to build bases. Once you clean out all the shriekers, they are wonderful because they're safe. Nothing will spawn in an ancient city. Now, there may be some caves and stuff. It certainly rained zombies on me on occasion, but you know, still. What am I missing? Oh, hey, I'm missing the actual stone. Yeah, ancient city trial chambers work out nicely too. For the same reason, is they're just not they're not spawnable. So they make wonderful bases. And you can do all sorts of good stuff with them, and you don't have to worry so much about lighting and all that good stuff. Alright, so now we can cover that up. Alright. Alright, and let's see, what do I have in the way of comparators? Probably almost nothing. Which is, again, not overly surprising. Alright, fortunately I do have plenty of whatever that is, quartz, so I can So all I can craft all the comparators. Well, there is a word that makes any attempt at an Australian accent go away. I don't think there's any place where there's a good Australian impression. I'm sure somebody has a good one, but it's not me. All right. Cool. So we get all of this in place. Oh, we're gonna have a lot of hoppers to do. Okay, but hey, we're getting there. Okay, so that's in, and yeah, so basically the idea is we'll set up something like this. I need to put a hopper back under that barrel, and oh yeah, well I gotta get the hoppers in place before I can put the comparators in. Anyway, but we'll get that in place. And then it's a couple of copper chests and some other hoppers so everything connects correctly. And yeah, it'll be nice. We'll have a nice setup for our copper golems. And then we can just run everything around. The hardest part, and actually the most annoyingly tedious part of dealing with one of these types of systems is setting the filters. I love auto-sorted storage systems in Minecraft. Love them. But setting the filters is such a pain, especially in a multi-item sorter. Whether it's something simple like with copper golems or something more complicated like with some big redstone mess. They're just painful. All right. Well, we'll tuck those in there for now. And this will work. Obviously, we've got a bunch of copper to age. Let's take a look, because I placed some copper out this way. It's probably not doing so hot. Some of them have changed. So yeah, so we're gonna have to let these age a little bit, because I want the. So I don't know if I want the fully oxidized or the weathered. Right, this color. One of those things is gonna be good, but. And yeah, I think I'll be changing up some of these blocks, but as a base pass, okay? Water kind of looks like a hot tub. That was sort of the idea. Yeah, but as sort of a base pass, I think that's going to work. We'll do a detail pass later. Yeah, when I started to renovate this city, I thought what might be good would be to flood it. And so I haven't gone through and done that everywhere. But coming to an area like this, and this was sort of the plan, is that I'd flood the city, and so the city was basically sort of like Venice, everything sort of built with canals and bridges and all of that good stuff. Right, so that's sort of the idea. And I'd worked up a design for the walkways. I don't know that I'm going to change it or that I'm going to keep it, but this is where I discovered that the pearlescent frog lights have the exact same shade of purple as purple blocks, which is kind of fun. Yeah, this is my little trading hall for masons in here. They're all named, but all of their names are based off of the colors that they have. So Gordon here has gray and orange. So Gordon O'Brien, so it's G and O. Same with this guy's got G and B, so it's gray and black. And this guy is light. Lieutenant Bridget Brooks. It's probably light blue and regular blue, right? So you can kind of come and see. It's like, oh yeah, Bobby Owens the third. Yep, black and orange. So you know, Brenda here with her blue and pink. So yeah, that's a thing. Fun little trading hall for some Masons. But yes, this was basically my starter area in this world, was this ancient city. And it's got some fun. It's got a little iron farm. It's got an old, you know, an older design moss farm. And a very lousy creeper farm. So, and skulk farm. You know, let's not forget the skulk. That's that mess over there. So, you know, I definitely had some projects here. You know, little slime farm going on over there. So nothing crazy, but and this, when I moved in, it was possible to stop shriekers from shrieking. So that's what this was. Is this would trigger a shrieker and then basically trigger it often enough, like every few seconds, so that the shriekers would always be on cooldown. So if you stepped on a shrieker, it wouldn't go off. That doesn't seem to work anymore. But it was really cool. And it made cleaning out this city and another ancient city that's over that way a little ways. Made changing that, cleaning those out really easy. But I think I'm going to have to call it here. So it's been a lot of fun. I want to thank everybody for hanging out with me today. I've been meaning to do this project for a while, so it's great to do it. Speaking of great, shout out to my supporters over there at musicfreegaming.com. If you would like to help support the channel, that is a fabulous way to do it. Obviously, the best way to support the channel is to be here and watch. But you can check out the schedule. Next stream will be Thursday, 6 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time. I'm going to be in Terraria. Surprisingly enough, doing something similar, setting up a storage room. So this is my life now. And then, of course, Saturday morning, I'll be in Terraria, probably doing something more fun than storage. So check that action out. Of course, like, subscribe, turn on notifications, whatever it is you want to do. And until next time, be excellent to each other. And this is Music Free Gaming signing off.